start my talk by a quote from Nelson Mandela, that education is a very powerful weapon that can be used to change the world. And at a time when we see more divisiveness in the world, we see an increase in intolerance, an increase in hatred towards each other, education must be used as a tool to bring people together. Instead, what we see is a boom in the inaccessibility of education across the globe. My talk is not about my journey or how I became the president and what struggles I had to go through. My talk is around utilizing the diversity of mindsets and perspectives to facilitate growth and learning. You don't have to go international to get that exposure or obtain that growth. You can do that by being in Pakistan. And I want you to listen to this and understand my perspective on the talk. I would like to give you an overview of how the current education system is being conceptualized in the world, how the current education system is being branded, monetized, and marketized. Institutions like Oxford and Cambridge are being promoted as big luxury brands, targeting a small set of consumers in the rest of the world. And I'll throw in a question regarding branding, but in the context of Pakistan, that we have a student who studies from a government institution, is extremely dedicated, highly passionate, gives their best, gets the best possible grades, but in the end, a student who has studied from a privately owned institution, and you know what I'm referring to, has a specific advantage over them in different walks of life, be it employment or social acceptance, only because that student has a specific brand associated with them. Now, these brands are charging extravagant amounts of money, excluding all those people who come from lower income backgrounds. Whilst, on the other hand, education in Germany is free. Education in the UK was free until 1998, when the UK government started charging for higher education for the first time, followed by an increase in 2010. And when that happened, 50,000 students and supporters came out on the streets of London to protest against this increase in tuition fee, because they believe that education is a public good. Education needs to be free. It is a basic human right. And this education, for some people in Pakistan, is becoming like a status symbol. It is becoming like an introduction. आप अपनी प्राडो किसी के लाउंज में नहीं लेके जा सकते, लेकिन आप उनको ये बता सकते हो कि मेरा बच्चा यूके या यूएस में पढ़ रहा है. It is becoming like an introduction and a way to flaunt. And again, before I delve into my talk, I want to take a step ahead and explain how this current education system across the world, it's very important for us to understand how the current education system is being run. How this education system is being conceptualized in the import-export framework. Let's study the UK education system, for example. The UK imports 500,000 foreign students every year because these international students are profitable. They're like ATM machines. And education as a service can be sold to the rest of the world. So students are being imported and education is being exported to boost their economy. Let's take Malaysia, for example. Large private companies in Malaysia are sponsoring students to go abroad, get this education, come back and work. So students are being exported and education is being imported. I would like to present an alternative view in which we don't see education in the framework of import-export, but we conceptualize education in the framework of exchange, the exchange of ideas, the exchange of perspectives, the exchange of knowledge to work towards global peace. Now, parents like mine, and they're sitting here, expect their kids to go abroad, study in these global institutions and develop a culturally competent mindset, a mindset where you can view the world through the eyes of others, you can have a global problem-solving vision, you can be well-rounded individuals. Now, in my case, it might have been a success because of all the experiences I had, and I'm not talking about my experiences, but the experiences where I exchanged different perspectives. I exchanged different perspectives worked towards solving different problems with a global outlook towards them. And that resulted in the development of my mindset. But is this happening in every case? Yes and no. Now, students in these global universities tend to hang around with students from their own backgrounds and cultures. You'll see Chinese students just being with Chinese students. You'll see Pakistani students with Pakistani students. You'll see students from Italy with Italians. But ultimately, this is happening because this is easy for them. This is in their comfort zone. It's warm and comforting. But we all know that growth only happens when you step outside your comfort zone. And to facilitate that growth and that development of your mindset, King's College London, where I work, is working towards a vision where all our students can again develop this mindset which I just talked about, which is culturally competent and has a global problem-solving vision. How is this happening? I'll explain how is this happening and then how can we use this in Pakistan. How is this happening? From facilitating a shift from the unconscious and implicit experience of internationalization to the conscious and explicit experience of internationalization. What is internationalization? Everyone could have a different meaning for it. But the way I see internationalization is, again, it's a specific mindset. A mindset which is culturally competent. You can see the world through the eyes of others. You can acknowledge different perspectives. And at the same time, you have a global problem-solving vision to make the world a better place. What's this unconscious experience like? Students in these universities, you're in your classroom working in a group of 6. 3 students have a practical outlook. 3 students have a theoretical outlook. You're meeting people who are career-driven to artistic-driven to both. You're interacting with people from different cultures who have different perspectives, not necessarily different answers to the problems, but different ways of working towards the problem. And again, this is the unconscious experience already happening in these universities, which we can bring to Pakistan. And I know at this point, you're saying that, okay, Momin, you studied in a global institution where you had people from all over the world, from different religions. But in Pakistan, we don't have people from all over the world. We don't have people from many different religions. How can we transfer the lessons in our universities, in our country? Now, this is where we need to understand that you can have people from the same country and they all can have different perspectives. Even within the UK, students are traveling from one part of the UK to another to gain a whole new perspective and provide one as well. And similarly, for Pakistan, the experience and the mindset and the perspectives of people I've met in rural Pakistan has been very different to the people I've met in Lahore. And even within your university, I'm sure you have people from different backgrounds who have different outlooks towards life, towards solving problems. And that is exactly what we need to utilize. The diversity of mindsets and perspectives that already exists. Because diversity, to come across or to experience the diversity of a mindset, you don't need different nationalities. You don't need different religions. You don't need a different color. You don't need people from a different race. It's about the mindset. It's about your mindset. And some of the examples I've used before, like a group of 6 where 3 students think theoretically, 3 students think practically, some are artistic driven, some are career driven, some have different perspectives towards solving problems that already exists within your university, Lahore College, and already exists within Pakistan. And it is for us to utilize this diversity of mindsets and perspectives to ensure that our students can develop a mindset which is, again, which acknowledges different perspectives, which comes out with different solutions to solve problems. It's about bringing these conversations and this vision to life. Because remember, when you grow up in one type of an environment, you normalize it. That's the only perspective you have. But it's only when you come across people with different backgrounds, and I am sure you have many people from different backgrounds at this university, you get to see how the other person thinks. You understand how they adjust to your norms and you adjust to their norms. Because let me be very honest with you, education is not about the curriculum or the content of your degree. Business management, if you're studying business management, whether you study it from the UK or the US or Pakistan or Africa, it's exactly the same. Education is about the exposure. Education is about the development of your mindset. And we can develop that mindset within Pakistan by utilizing the power of diversity we have here. So ultimately, coming back to my point, we have to acknowledge and utilize the power of diversity of mindsets and perspectives we have within Pakistan. Because again, I envision Pakistan to be a global hub for education in the future. Why can't this university be one of the top institutions in the world? Why can't our students be the global pioneers of the future? We can be. Why can't we take Pakistan beyond the stars? And I truly believe that we can take Pakistan beyond the stars if we utilize the power of diversity of mindsets and perspectives we have within Pakistan. And why can't we have people coming from across the globe to study in Pakistan, to experience the exposure of the Pakistani education and the culture? And this is how we can take Pakistan beyond the stars. Thank you very much.